It's still Monday, and I just got off the phone with my landlord. You guys had brought up some valid things that I needed to ask questions about. So I called him because Savannah and I had looked at the space yesterday, and I was like, so what I can see in the window, is that it? That's the whole space? And he kind of chuckled. And he said, well, Rena, there's space behind there that you can't see. And right now it's all an old bar kitchen, and I have a lot of stuff I need to do to it. And he said, I just hadn't had anybody come to me with a business plan good enough for me to even think about spending the money to do it until you. He goes, so for you, I'm willing to do that. And I'm actually really excited about your plan. And he said, so, because I said, I think I'd really prefer that space over the space next to the Mexican food restaurant. And I explained to him what a lot of you guys said, which was, you don't want him smelling enchiladas. And he kind of laughed again. And he's like, that's not going to be a problem because of firewalls. And he's like, trust me. Trust me. And he's the kind of person that when he says, trust me, you can trust him. He is a guy who twice has given me money. The first time he gave me 25 grand to renovate my store, and all I had to sign was a 10-year lease agreement. And then the other time he gave me $7,500 when we did last time when we renovated last year. And he's a very trustworthy guy. So he told me, he said, I think I can make that space into 1,500 for you. At least 1,200. Okay, so I'm just like, oh, perfect. He said, I can cut a door into the caterers. They bring in your food. You're good to go. So then I asked him, there's a big sign over the patio space that says School of Rock. And that's the space next door to me. And he's like, don't worry. You won't hear the sound from the School of Rock. And we'll move the sign. Don't worry. So I said, okay. Again, he says, trust me. I said, okay. He said, oh, and then the gal came that does my hand and foot massage, and she had worked for me before at the grooming salon. And so I know her really well. I trust her completely. She was a great employee. She just wanted to go do massage stuff. So while she's doing my massage, I'm telling her that I would be really interested if, I built this business up to where, I have bridal parties that come and utilize my party room space to get ready for the wedding. I'd like to offer massages. And she's a massage therapist. She's a licensed and bonded and insured therapist. So we chatted about it. She's like, I think that's a brilliant idea. And absolutely, I actually have a girl that graduated with me, and we could, both do it if you had, multiple people that needed massages. So then as we continued to talk about it, she was telling me she's hoping to find a place where she can rent a room or something where people can come and she can do massages so that she could be her own boss. I was like, well, if I get the 1,500 square foot space, I would be able to give you a room, because all she needs is like a 10 by 10 space, 10 by 12. She's like, I just need a massage table and, maybe a chair for them to put their stuff on. So I could rent her space, and she would have traffic whenever she's got appointments scheduled that'd be coming through my place. And then after they get their massage, they're feeling all relaxed. They can have a cup of tea and, just want to experience. I'm so excited. And she was like, I am totally on board for that. So super excited. What else did the landlord say? I can't remember anything else that he said, except that he's super pumped and not to worry. And he's like, you're way ahead of the game, Rena. You're more than a year out. Just calm down. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I got to train my daughter to take over my existing business and learn the tea business at the same time, plus antique, plus make crafts to sell in my store in a year and a half. And I know I'm going to make a lot of things, hopefully, but I spent my whole day yesterday antiquing. There was no crafting, none. Today I have to go to the doctor and I need to go rent a space to store all this stuff in. And then we're going to the movie premiere, so I have no time to really craft today. I kind of organized my wedding journal. That's the front and the back, and then I do have all the pages inside, but you know, I can't do any of my stamping or my my stenciling or making of my inserts or any of that today because I gotta go. But very good news. Like I said, everything is falling into place. But I thought I would show you. I did get a crafty order, and I had forgotten I ordered this because it came from Malaysia. So I thought I would show it to you. I have not ordered very much crafty stuff at all lately because it's all spending my dollars antiquing. But look how pretty. So pretty. I love that. This is something, honestly, I wished I had bought more. This is a yard. I can see this hanging from a lamp. And I have this one too. And these two colors are, are the right colors. That's the problem. Okay. Well, anyway. This too could be hanging from a lamp. And then I also got it in lavender. Not going to have lavender in the tea room, though. So I got those. And then I have this other bag. This one's so pretty. Look at that. So pretty. Who did I get this from? I got this from Annie. It does not say the name of her store anywhere. Doesn't say the name of her store. She's on Etsy. Can't remember. So I got this, which is fairly common. This one's a little bit more foo-foo-y. This one, it's kind of gold. This one's like pink. No, it's kind of like blue and a little bit green. And this one's more pink and green. And I kind of got these with journals in mind for the outside edges of the journal. This one, wow, I don't remember ordering this actually. But it's beautiful. And it's kind of like a seafoam green. This one. And finally, this one's really pretty. I like this one a lot. I'm going to use this one on the wedding journal, because the wedding journal is like pink and white and gray. That one's going in the journal pile right now. There you go. And then she sent me a couple of little extra doodads. These little bows. So I have a bow jar over there. Those will go in the bow jar. And I will have to separate these out by color and put them in the proper bins. Here's our tickets to get in to see Rampage tonight. It kind of looks like a dumb movie, to be honest with you. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And I guess we'll go out to dinner after. So, that's about it. Things are really, really coming together, guys. They really are. And you should totally follow me on Pinterest. I am finding so much stuff. Oh, I know. When I talked to him about the outdoor space and about the place over by the Mexican food restaurant, he's like, oh, Rena, how many times do I have to tell you? I am not done with that shopping center. I have so many plans. He said, I used to say I was 50% done with it. Now I'm closer to 70. He said, but I'm going to put 3 more patios on that shopping center. So don't you worry. You will get what you want. I will make it happen, and have no fear. So Pinterest is awesome. It's so awesome. Savannah yesterday was like, Mom, you should like have a beautiful shabby chic bed, and like you could serve tea to people like breakfast in bed. I was like, oh gosh, Savannah, we're going too far now. We're going a little too far. But it was funny. So, okay, guys, I'm going to Pinterest a little bit, and then I'm going to head out and go do all the stuff I got to do. See you later. Bye. Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. And there's no video from the movie last night. Nothing. Would you like to know why? So, I went to my doctor's appointment. I'm going to tell you about the movie first, then I'll tell you about the doctor's appointment. So I went to the doctor's appointment, and Honey was able to get off work early, which is what he had hoped would happen. And he got home in plenty of time and got in the shower, and we had to drive really far to this theater, like almost to the airport. So it was like a 40-minute drive. And I had been telling him that it said on the ticket thing that they over give away tickets. So we needed to really get there. So he's like, okay. So we got there, we walked up to the theater, and there's like nobody standing outside or anything. And I was like, oh, maybe we could go get something to eat, because we were there like an hour and 10 minutes early. So I was like, I'm going to go up to the ticket thing and ask. So I went up there and I asked the guy if he thought we had time to go eat. And he was like, well, just go over to Theater 8 and ask them. I don't know. So I told Honey, and we went in. And there was a huge, monstrous line of people waiting to get into Theater 8. So we asked somebody, and they were like, you should get in line. So there was like one section that was like this, winding. And then there was a space, and then they had another section that was winding. So we were in the second section, winding. And what they did was they would let a certain amount of people in. Hey, that is not okay. She was just clawing at the screen. No. I think she saw a bird flying. Anyway. So we get in this line, and they let us, we made it up to the front meandering thing. And then they stopped letting people in after. Don't do that. So they stopped letting people in, and we were just like waiting and waiting and waiting. So finally, I told Honey, I said, I'm going to go ask somebody what the hell. So I did. And sorry, I'm sewing. And I'm not enjoying it at all. So I went and asked somebody, and I was like, hey, what's the scoop? What's the deal? What's the holdup? Why aren't you letting more people in? And they were like, oh, well, all we have left are these. Oh man, this is stressing me out. All we have left are these seats for the people that are supposed to review the movie. And if they don't show up by 5 minutes till 7, then we let the rest of the people in. So I went back and I told Honey, I was like, okay, and I told him, I was like, well, we're right there. Do you think we'll get in? He goes, oh yeah, you guys will get in. And I looked at Honey and I was like, we're going to have to wait another 30 minutes to find out if we get in or not. And he really doesn't like the movies. So I was like, do you want to just go? He's like, oh, it's up to you. It's up to you. So I was like, I'm okay with going. And he's like, I don't trust you. I don't want you to be mad at me later. So like there was a lady across the way, across the line, and he had already determined that he knew her from work, that she was a parts girl and she would bring parts to his store. So I was like, okay, she's your witness. And I'm telling him it's okay for us to leave. So you're the witness. And she's like, I got it. I'm your witness. So we left. And we went and had some dinner. And it was nice. We had a really, really enjoyable time just hanging out and going to dinner. We met this really awesome young man. Oh gosh, I'm so frustrated with this, guys. We met this really nice young man who waited on us. And it was just a really good time. All right, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to fix this, and then I'm going to come back and tell you about the doctor. Bye. It's sewn, and I've already started putting pretty lace on it. It was driving me crazy. I hate the sewing part. So I always sew, and then I cover it up with something. So I covered it up with this pink ribbon because I don't sew very straight, so I don't want it to show. But it holds just like if it was sewn beautifully straight. So anyway. So yeah, we had a really good time. We went and we got an appetizer, and then we were going to take our dinner home, and we were going to watch Walking Dead. Because Honey needs to get caught up because he has been bad and not been diligent about watching every week like me. Anyway, we got home and he got on the phone with Blake, and they kind of had a little bit of a tiff. And so by the time he actually came in to watch Walking Dead, I was already like, so he promised that every night this week we're going to watch Walking Dead. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, oh, the doctor. So I go into the doctor, and it's not the same doctor. It should have been the same doctor. I don't know why it was a different doctor, but I guess it's just whoever is working that day. But anyway, it didn't matter. He was really nice. And I'm trying to match up this lace, so excuse me for 1 second. So anyway, I go in and he was like, okay, you know, he looks at my chart and he's like, oh, okay, how's it going? And I was like, you know, it's actually going really pretty good. I definitely feel improvement. And he's like, that's great. How's the carpal tunnel? I was like, I don't have carpal tunnel. And he goes, oh, your chart says you have early onset, beginning stages of carpal tunnel. I was like, oh, he didn't tell me that. He just told me I had stage 2 arthritis. He was like, oh, yeah, you're starting to get carpal tunnel. So I was like, fabulous. And so he goes, you know, we talked a little bit about it. And he goes, well, do you feel like you'd like to get some injections today? I was like, who feels like they want to get injections today? I was like, I actually, because he told me he can only give me 4 a year. So I was like, well, if you had asked me when I came in last time if I wanted injections, I would have said yes. That's where the pain, you know, level was at, was yes, I would like injections. This time, honestly, I feel improvement. I said, you know, it's not like I'm not experiencing any pain. It's not as painful as it was when I first started coming in. And he's like, well, it's totally up to you. You know, we could do it today, or, you know, we can hold off. And so I was like, nope, let's hold off. I'll save them for when, you know, I really, really need it. So he's like, okay, would you like to schedule a follow-up, or do you just want to do, you know, just contact us if you want the injections? And I was like, yeah, I'll just, you know, give you guys a call and come get some injections if I need to. So that's how that went, which I felt was, you know, I considered that a win. And so yeah, happy with that. And he did say, I told him, you know, that I feel pain when I'm like trying to control a dog and I'm clipping, but I'm holding the dog like this and I'm clipping. And he was like, I would just order another one of these. You can get them on Amazon for 20 bucks. Of course, they charge 60. Oh, how pretty would that be? Anyway, so he said, yeah, get you one for grooming and go ahead and wear it while you're grooming. And he said, I don't want you to wear this one 24, because he asked me how much I was wearing it. And I was like, the other doctor told me to wear it, you know, all the time. And he goes, well, since you've seen some improvement, I think we'll go to just wearing it most of the time, but not all the time. Try to kind of wean yourself off of it, but, you know, you be the judge. And I don't know. It just gives me such support. I feel more comfortable. And he did say that the massages are probably helping as well. So anyway, all in all, good stuff. Then I get home from the doctor and Honey is already here, and I see him with mail, and there's a big package or a big envelope. And I was like, oh, is that from the accountant? And he's like, yeah. Well, since yesterday was April the 9th, I knew it was our taxes. Well, I have been trying to be extremely diligent about getting us on a path where we owe considerably less than we have been owing in years past. Last year we owed like almost $8,000. The year before that we owed $12,000, and that's with already them taking taxes out for Honey and for me. We still owed that much. So I was like, please let it be good. Let it be good. And we lost our, you know, last year we lost Blake as a deduction because he claimed himself. So I told the bookkeeper this year, or the book accountant, I said, please go ahead and do not include Blake as a dependent. We have no dependents anymore. And we owe $3,000. And last night when we went out, we told the waiter, we're like, yeah, we're celebrating. We only owed $3,000 to the IRS. And he's like, oh, you're celebrating that? You're like, yeah, we're celebrating that. And we really were. We were like both just like, yeah. We were like high-fiving. It was good. So, anyway, it was a good evening. And, man, I found this. You know, I find myself constantly on Facebook Marketplace. Thank you so much. No, it's really good. And I had found this table and matching chairs, and they were white. And it was a glass tabletop. And the chairs were, I may have already deleted it because she sold it. I was going to go this morning and go get it. Let me click saved items. Okay, so here it is. Let's see. See if you can see it. Can you see it? So that was it. And I know it's not vintage, but I think it would have been really nice for the area where people just come to have a cup of tea and a cupcake or whatever. You know, I could have shabby chic'd it up. I could have woven laces and fabric through it, and I think it would have worked really good. And she only wanted $70. And I messaged her and was like, I could come first thing in the morning. I could be there by 9:30. And she was like, okay, I'll let you know if it's still available. And yeah, no, sold. But lots of good stuff on here. And there was one. Look at this thing, guys. Look at this. That thing, if it's not vintage, it looks vintage. And if I painted that thing white, OMG. And she's giving it away. Giving it away. I'm going to message her again. So somebody said something yesterday on my video, and I was like, that hurt my feelers. And it did. It hurt my feelers. Let's start at the bottom. Okay, Patricia Herrera says either they're filming for a movie, commercial, sales, or it could be a meetup group for photography, maybe something else. I thought the meetup group for photography was probably, could have been right on. They weren't there that long. They were there maybe 20 minutes. But yeah, it would be a pretty place to take pictures, I guess. Crafty Nan. Hi, Rena. Shame about the place. It's not big enough. Aha, but now you know it is. But I suppose it's all about compromise in a way. I don't think you will smell tacos in the tea room anyway, so I don't think that would be a problem. Yeah, he told me that if I had the space next to the Mexican restaurant, there would be no smell. Love all the stuff you're finding. The sewing machine is gorgeous. I love it when I've seen them painted in pastel colors, but I don't think I could myself paint all over the vintage writing that some of them have on the machine itself. I know. I'm not going to be able to do that. Crafty Kim. I know if I were To take my mom and sister to a tea room for a luncheon, I would not want to hear loud, excited children in the room next to us. Even with the door closed, you could not get rid of the sound of a dozen hyper kids, and at a party, kids get excited. So I think that is something to keep in mind for as well. And you're very, very correct. Adults who want to go somewhere for a quiet place for tea and adult conversation would not want to hear kids in the background. That's just my opinion. I hope you have fun at the movies. Please let us know what you think of Rampage. Didn't see it. Yeah, that was a very good thought. I had not actually thought of that. To me, a tea party is like a tea party. It's not crazy kids. So I am going to have to rethink that. I am going to have to visit a couple of tea rooms. I am going to have to get feedback maybe from, you know, other places that host these types of events and make a decision based on that information. Rebecca Knapp, Rena, your new adventure is very exciting and you'll be a great tea party room craft shop owner. My grandmother had a sewing machine that looked like that and it worked great. Best wishes. Thank you. Maryville 55, thanks for another great vlog. Me and my sister each have a vintage Singer sewing machine with handmade cabinets. One my mother brought from the Ukraine in 1951 when she immigrated to Canada and had the cabinet made by our neighbor. And the other one my stepdad brought from Russia. Woo! Hope there was no Russian collusion. I had to throw that in, sorry. Okay, not sure in what year, and they are both functional. I actually learned to sew on my mother's vintage machine. They are both beautiful, and the one that you found is beautiful too. Thank you. Yeah, I feel very lucky. Naomi West loves the chair and the sewing machine. Crafty Kim, love the end. Funny. Love all the antiques. Dana K. If I was going to a ladies' day out, I would avoid a place giving a birthday party. An antique place here does little girl tea parties only one day a week, and they are closed to the public at that time. I know you'll work it out. That is a very good idea. And as a matter of fact, Dana, would you send me a link to that place? I would like to check out their website. Jenna Mama. Hi, Rena. Missed your vlog yesterday and wondered if you had the app issue again, but happy to hear you were out junking with your daughter. I love that, junking. I think we're going to call it picking. Love the sewing machine and the beautiful chair. I hope to see your new teacups later too. If you ask me, it seems like it's coming together nicely. I do. I think so too. Smarty Pants Kids, did you ever find out what they were doing? No. Love your new finds for your store. Awesome. So fun to see it all coming together. Hugs, Carla. KDS, it looks like those people might be from a photography group, but the scenery out your craft room window is beautiful. Thank you. I love it. Those pictures of the antique mall at the end were great. Lots of beautiful things. I'm glad you got to spend some time with Savannah. She looks happy. We are enjoying our time together a lot, and we both seem to have a love of antiques. So that's a bonus. Lori Nichols, I wouldn't worry about smells from the Mexican place. Since you want to keep your current business, try on the day you're closed to offer private parties for pets and children. No. No. I just don't have the type of clientele that would have a party for their pet at all. Pets would be much more profitable. I don't think so. Trust me, if I thought that was an avenue for revenue, I would have been doing that. But yeah, the lady down the way with the pet food store, she does crazy stuff. And I'm just not, yeah, no. I love my dogs, but I would not have a party for them. So if I wouldn't have a party for them, it would be hard for me to throw a party for a dog. So anyway, the idea of having theme rooms for parties sounds good, but not really feasible because you are going to need storage. Okay, so I don't know if I didn't convey it right, but there is a place here that has rooms that are already decorated for different themes. Yes, I would have to have just different items that would come out to decorate that space to give it that theme. So one room multiple themes that we can change things up and make the theme. So just one party room. One big room and offer different themes, then set the parties up as you go. Yes, switching out the themes. Exactly. That was the plan originally. You will need a larger group of employees, either contracted or staff, to monitor multiple party rooms, and the insurance. Yeah, just one. I know you're gung-ho doing this all yourself, but you should consult someone who is a business manager in this field. And yes, I plan to do that because partnering, I don't know what that word is their business. Open the journal and start planning and designing your space so you're not just buying nilly-willy. Okay, Lori Nichols, I love you, but that last line made me feel sad. So you're not just buying willy-nilly. Okay. Those pictures you saw from that last place, that is how I want my space to be. I want it super full. I want like stuff from floor to almost ceiling and things draped on it. And, you know, I do want stuff hanging from the ceilings. I want every bit of space to have stuff. I want it to be a delight for the eyes, candy for the eyes. I'm going to need a lot of stuff for that. So what I'm doing is buying all these pieces. And then when I get my canvas, I'm going to be able to just go to town. And that's how I feel. I got to go. I have some meat on the stove and I totally forgot. I'll be back. I went, checked on it. It was like almost burnt. Thank God I was going to put it in the crock pot. That'll soften it up. Shane's coming tonight and he likes ground beef with brown gravy over real mashed potatoes. So that's what I'm going to give him tonight. Jennifer Richards, love the awesome finds in your garage. Beautiful pieces. Can't wait to see your next junk journal. Here it is. Oh my gosh. So this is what it looks like before you add all your junk. This is three signatures. I remember thinking, what the hell is a signature? And I still don't even get why it's called a signature. But whatever, it's a signature. Okay, so Angela Ford. Look who's coming. Angela Ford, some gorgeous finds. Love, love, love the sewing machine. Mother had a similar one. Me and my sister spent a day sewing the legs of our jeans up back in the day on it. Those are great memories, right? Invented door. Hi, Rena. I love your idea of a shabby chic vintage tea room with antiques to buy. Love the way it sounds. It will be a lovely place to go. I also like the idea of having a room in which you can hold craft classes and sell some craft supplies. Parties, though, it's a different kettle of fish. Not all children are well behaved, especially when excited. And what I want to say about that is maybe we start with, instead of having children's parties, maybe what I do is I have a themed party of the month, okay? And you can buy, you can buy like a ticket. I don't know, not really a ticket, but I've seen other tea rooms where you you pay a certain amount to come to the tea party, and usually it's ladies, and sometimes they'll bring a young girl with them. But I really wanted to, and maybe if any of you know about this, etiquette classes. Do you have to have like a license? Do you have to go through some special training, or can I learn the etiquette by reading and informing myself? So just curious if any of you guys know that. She says, I would be concerned about the amount of wear and tear. If it were me, I would just concentrate on just the tea room and the classes. And I think you guys could be onto something there. Possibly if someone, maybe I could be very limited as to how many children, like no more than 6. You know, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But in my first thought process, you know, I could have Elsa themed tea parties and Belle themed tea parties, and you know, maybe you guys are right, maybe we only do it one day a week. Maybe it's a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon, to where the tea room is only open from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays, and then we have our parties from 2 to 4. I don't know. But what I can tell you is, I promise you, I am going to be doing my research, and I am going to be going to other tea rooms and such. Right now, because I'm on several design teams, like Sunday being gone all day was, I didn't think about that I should be at home crafting, but yeah, I kind of should have been home crafting. So I'm going to have to dial down the antiquing a little bit. I'm going to go with Honey on Sunday so he feels included, because I don't want him to feel excluded. But yeah, managing my time is going to be very, very hard. So that's that. Yeah, if you really want to do parties, I think it better that they're held in another building. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. Anyway, thank you guys again for being so engaged, and I gotta get this cat off of my white laces. I'm sorry. I really wouldn't mind you hanging out with me, but white laces, black cat, not working. All right, second cup of tea. This is my favorite cup. You guys like it? And I did ask, I was talking to Savannah. I was like, do you think I should have a collection of mugs? Because I'm sure there will be people that prefer to drink out of a mug. And I know it sounds weird because it's a tea room. You know, it's like delicate and all of that. But I think some people like to drink out of mugs. And I asked you guys this before and nobody answered. So what do you think? Do you think I need a collection of mugs too? And nobody said what they thought of my idea of having ice cream. In my head, and yes, I know I'm adding lots of things, but if I have the business plan right from the beginning, and I purchase the things and I order the things and I have it set up so that just, I'm thinking in the summer months, I have like a vintage ice cream, you know, area. You know, do you remember going to Baskin Robbins with, I mean, I remember this as a kid, going to Baskin Robbins with the family. And we all go, and I know Baskin Robbins isn't vintage, but you know, those soda shops, and those are, even though that was like the 50s and the 60s, to me that's still vintage. I mean, it was before I was born in the 50s. I was born in 63, but the 50s. And, you know, it gives another opportunity to bring little boys in, because little boys really don't usually want to come have tea, but you know, if they learn to like coming because they get to have ice cream, you know, and then of course the flavored teas, but I think little boys more ice cream. So I don't want it to be just ladies. And Honey and I were talking last night about it, and he was like, I don't think I would go to a place like that with you. I was like, I know. And I think there are some men that would just never go to a place like that, no matter what. But I think there are a lot of men that would. And not that they would go by themselves, but I think they would go with their wife. So what I told him was, when you build me that little deck area and we make it feel like it's outdoorsy, I think that if they came, they would have a tendency to gravitate towards that area, because that area is not going to be as, you know, draping lace and, you know, fabric and everything. That's going to feel more like outdoorsy. So let me know what you guys think. I'm really, really enjoying your input. And don't worry, you know, it is what it is. If I get my feelers hurt, that's my problem. So keep it coming. I need it. Thanks. Bye.